good life, the good life. Tonight, we're gonna live the good life. Alright, let's go and live the good life.
Good morning, shy folk, and welcome back to Old Man Willow Farm. It's 6 o'clock in the morning and we're busy out here at the farm. I'm busy turning out horses, putting them to pasture for the day before I clean stalls. And today I'm talking to you about all things friendly and unfriendly in the barn. And one of those things is flies. So you have biting flies here in the barn. We have stable flies. We have mosquitoes that carry deadly diseases, bot flies that lay eggs on horses. And so we continually wage a war on these. So right now I'm busy turning the horses out, and the first thing I do is put fly masks on and spray them down with fly spray to give them some relief out in the pasture. Because those little blighters are an absolute pain. So I'm going to share with you today some of our strategies and techniques that we use here at the farm to wage war on flies. So one of the things that I do is mix my own fly spray, because I'm spraying down a lot of horses every day. And the last thing I want is to just breathe in all those toxins and the nasty stuff from commercially made fly spray. So this is super easy and it's a lot cheaper. You need the Permethrin, which is the poison part of it. And I have like a little measured off, and you're doing equal parts Permethrin. And I just have a little funnel, I mix in my mixing bottle to Avon Skin So Soft. And this is like a natural insect repellent, and it also makes their coats really shiny and look good. So it protects their coats from the sun. And that's it, really. You just do equal parts of the Permethrin and the Skin So Soft, and I'll put a link with the recipe in below. And then fill it up with water. And woo! Too strong. And that's it. And this way I don't get poisoned every time I am spraying the horses down. With the commercial stuff, I found I was breaking out on a rash on my arms if I didn't wear a long sleeve shirt. And I was like, whoa, that can't be so good. What is that doing to the horses' coats and their systems? And so I found this recipe online, and it works really, really well. Just as effective as the store-bought stuff. And you can get all of those things on Amazon. And that's it, bottle of fly spray. Cheaper and better for you, better for the horses. So I'm standing out here with Merlin. He's our baby, he's just 2. He's an absolute Appaloosa too, if you would believe it. Of course, no spots, but anyway, I'm going to be working him in a little bit, so that's why he's still in. But so some of our strategies for dealing with flies. So as I mentioned in last week's vlog, we compost all our manure. So spreading it out in the field, picking it up, building a compost heap, just good manure management is really the front lines of the war on flies. And then waiting for it to break down before spreading it out in the field again. Piles of wet manure are just breeding grounds for flies. So that's like a key way. The other thing that we do is I clean the stalls first thing in the morning so that there's no manure in the barn during the day, in the hottest part of the day. I also sweep the barn aisle. I make sure once a week to sweep upstairs in the feed loft, to sweep up any grain that is dropped, so that that doesn't attract flies. I wash my water buckets regularly every 2 days. I scrub out the water buckets and refill them. So any places that might as you look around your barn, any trash cans, make sure you line them, make sure you empty them regularly. Any places where you see that might be a good breeding ground for flies or mosquitoes, just make sure to just use basic common sense. But not only do we get flies in our barn, jeez, Merlin, not only do we get flies in our barn, but we also have friendly bugs and insects. And these can be used to our advantage in the war against flies. So an example of this is spiders. Now, I know it doesn't look pretty to have spider webs all over the barn, but in the summer we leave these guys alone because they are great fly predators. So we encourage spiders in the barn. And then another good fly predator is actually fly predators. You can sprinkle them on the edge of your manure pile. They're like little insect thingies, I guess, that actually eat and feed on fly larvae. So they eat the flies before they actually hatch. And then another really effective thing that we have used in the past is chickens. Like if you make your chicken pen where your composting heap is, chickens are amazing. Like they will eat up all the little bugs in there and the little larvae and scratch it up and break it down and help to compost your compost heap. But unfortunately, our girls, we had 6 of them, all got taken by predators. So that's why we now have ducks with a goose to guard them. So we eat duck eggs instead of chicken eggs. But yeah, the chickens all got eaten. But the joys of living on a farm. Anyway, I hope this video, Merlin's busy eating my feet. I hope this video, that you found this video helpful in your war against flies at the barn. Of course, we also have fly traps, which we set out in the sacrifice paddocks a distance from the barn to attract the flies away from the barn. Don't put your fly traps in the barn. They will attract flies to the barn. So, but yeah, those are some of our strategies, techniques. Hopefully it'll be helpful. Make sure to like and subscribe this channel if you enjoy our content and you want to see more. And I'll put the recipe for the fly spray in the link below. See you next week.
Till it blows up, yeah, we're gonna live a good life.